Hello, hello, beautiful people. I am your girl, Arshel, your favorite African wellness baddie. If you don't know who I am, I help take ancestral practices from the motherland and implement them into your everyday modern life. So thank you for tuning into my channel. If this video has just found you, I'm really excited. This is the first style of video like this that I'm doing. I will say that oftentimes, even though I talk about perfection is another form of procrastination, I fall victim to that all the time. This style of video, I want to put some of the beautiful footage that I gathered on my travels, and I just want to be like a little talking head, talking you through the things that you're seeing and my experiences. And for some reason, I feel all in my head like, oh, this is a weird concept, but in truth, I won't know until I test it. So today's topic is the 4 amazing wellness things that I did while I was in Ghana. And honestly, I feel like a more whole being because I had these experiences. And so I'm going to share them with you. You're going to see just a taste of what I saw. I filmed what I saw, but I still think that there's something to you going yourself to see it in person. So I definitely recommend it. And if you want to go this New Year's, I'm doing Girls Trip Ghana this New Year's. We're doing Dirty December. It's legendary. You've heard about it. By all means, I think that Dirty December is the best party in the world. Dirty December in West Africa. In truth, I've been going to West Africa for Christmas ever since I was a little girl. It only got named a few years ago, I think. And now the experiences are just elevated. I mean, if you're the type of person who likes a good time, especially around beautiful Black people, hello, I mean, it's going to be insane. So I have 3 spots taken right now. I still have space available for 5 more people. And I would love to bring you to West Africa my way. My way is always going to involve a lot of wellness. I have a beautiful wellness event that I'm planning in the motherland where we really reconnect to our roots. There's waist bead tying. There is AfroYin taught, led by me. And then there's all like ginger shots, like real, you're drinking and eating the food from the ground, but not the like fatty version of it, but like the healthy, holistic version that people don't think exists. And then there's going to be a lot of partying, of course. Like literally the party during Dirty December is nonstop. But because you're going with me, it's like we know all the restaurants. So we call ahead, get our orders in. We're not waiting all day for food. We know where to stay. So we have our poolside escapes and we're doing some of the experiences that I'm about to talk to you about. So not making this video an ad for my experience, but if you love some of the things that you're about to see, and if you're curious about wellness in other parts of the world, especially in the continent of Africa, where people feel like it's just starvation and poverty and all those things. When I tell you, there are a lot of trips you can take in this world. This is a trip that will change your life. There are a lot of trips you go, oh, I wanted to see it. Yeah, I saw it. I read about this in school, blah, blah, blah. This is going to flip everything you learned or heard about Africa on its head. So just, if you're ready to be changed, then by all means, drop a comment. I'll send you the information. But if you want to just I promise you, I really don't see myself spending another New Year in the US. It's just not the vibes. I mean, nothing against the US. I'll be here any other day. But New Year's though, it ain't, baby, we're elevating it. So let's just get into it. The first wellness experience that I want to talk about, my girl opened a matcha spot. It's called Matcha Me in Laboni neighborhood in Accra. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was my first time having matcha and it was ceremonial grade. So she opened up the spot for me. They hadn't opened yet, lots of delays. Just, how business ownership is. And it's a beautiful matcha spot. First of all, did y'all know they have matcha in Ghana? See, okay. I think there's something to be said about wellness as an aesthetic right now always includes matchas and Pilates and beige workout sets, right? And I get that wellness has become like another form of capitalism, but I also think there's something special to be said that all of the experiences that you want and have in other parts of the world, you can have those experiences in Africa in their own African way. So I had a matcha beverage. My favorite one, I believe it had honey and coconut cream in it. It was my first time having matcha at all, so she could let me try 3 different varieties. And also my camera guy, I call him Mosaic because that's his name on Instagram. So me and Mosaic, we're trying out these drinks and he's like, it's a green drink, like what? So I have a friend of mine who loves matcha and I took her to Liberia and she had cassava leaf and she was like, oh, cassava leaf tastes kind of like matcha. And when I had matcha for the first time, I understood what she was saying. It's got that same sort of grassiness. So cassava leaf being my favorite Liberian food, I was really into matcha. Like, it was a really good creamy drink. Apparently it has very exciting energy properties. And I think that Amal's beautiful matcha cafe is worth a visit because it's just it's a beautiful spot. It's a luxury spot in Laboni. So if you are one of the girlies that likes to get her matcha and be moving around, I say definitely go grab you one. You will hear me talk a lot about Republic and drinking Coco Rocos. You cannot drink a Coco Roco 24 hours a day. Every now and then you're going to need something that's a little bit more beneficial to your life and spirit and soul. So check out Matcha May. It's in Laboni. Okay. Now, wellness experience number 2 that I loved is right next to Matcha May. So what you really need to do is just plan to go spend an afternoon there. But right in the same plaza, there is R&R Skincare. And they have the skincare store downstairs, and then upstairs they have their wellness center. Now, I happened to be going to the matcha place to go support my friend, and I saw, oh my God, R&R. I've been a user of their products. If you saw my video where I'm sitting in the shower telling you about how I decolonized my skin routine, I was like, oh my God, that's the brand I buy. They have a whole store. So obviously I'm like, let me go in and see what I want to grab. And the store is decorated so beautifully. It is so zen. It is so fantastic. And I'm just like, I was in awe. The service was fantastic as well. One of the ladies who was there had helped me at their airport store, and she pulled up my records and she saw that I'd been a long time client, and she was talking me through the products. I will say this about Ghana in general. Customer service is top tier. Ghanaians are very kind people. And so when it comes to wellness and feeling soft, like, it truly feels like the associate was communicating the softness of the people and of the products. So I had already bought their liquid black soap and I was a fan of it. And I asked for the pump bottle and they're like, we're out of the bottles. You know, they're trying to, I guess there's like a delay, a manufacturing delay. And then they were telling me, okay, have you ever been upstairs? I was like, upstairs? I didn't know. So you walk in upstairs and it is their private wellness club. I think there's a membership fee. It's got a co-work space in there. And first you walk in and there's this beautiful cafe, okay? You can get your coffees, you can get your matchas, but you know, you can also go to Matcha Me, support Matcha Me, and then come here. And if you want to get a coffee, you can get a coffee. So it's a coffee shop up front. And then there's the workspace, and the aesthetic is just so beautiful. It's just a beautiful place that if you were going to work, I would work from there any day. And then in the back, they have the recovery suites. So you can get your massage done. They have a Pilates and yoga room. There's even Normatec leg sleeves, cryotherapy. So all of the wellness and recovery things that you need are at the R&R Wellness, like the downstairs and the upstairs, right? So you really can purchase your products for home use. And then while you're working, you get their monthly membership, you work from there, you have your coffee there, you have your exercise classes there, and you recover there. So I think it's a beautiful, intentionally designed space. I loved it. If I was working from Ghana and it made convenient sense for me, it's a membership that I would pursue. Because, you know, I love me a wellness space. Like, that's why I work from the gym in Atlanta so much, is because I love a wellness space. When you put me in that environment, like, my mindset is clear and I'm way more productive. So I loved everything about it. The third wellness activity that I did in Ghana that I think everybody has to do, we're going to shift gears here a little bit. I went to Cape Coast Castle. It wasn't my first time going. I've been maybe 4 or 5 times at this point because I've brought so many people to visit Ghana. And I always say, if you come, you can't not go, right? So we have to go pay our respects to our ancestors. And one of the things that I love about Cape Coast Castle as an experience is how knowledgeable the guides are. I don't think I've ever had a guide that wasn't knowledgeable. If we don't preserve our own history, like, the powers that be will tell us that we asked to be slaves. They already tried to tell us that the reason that slavery was successful is because we sold our own people into slavery, which we know that is a very whitewashed version of the truth. You know what? For this video, we're going to stop calling them castles. We went to the dungeons, okay? We have to reframe everything about the way we think about African history. We went to slave dungeons. And this was my first time at the Elmina dungeon in maybe a decade. Other than that, I typically take people to the Cape Coast dungeon. So there's no, I prefer this or that, but I will say that I think the Cape Coast dungeon is the one that I will bring people to. I have a like my own little trip that I take people to, where we go to Baobab House nearby, have a nice clean vegetarian meal, maybe buy some of the tie-dyes from Baobab House, and then we'll go into Cape Coast Castle because it's literally walking distance from there. This time we went to Elmina Castle. I feel like something about the layout of Elmina, or maybe something about the sun, makes it hotter. Obviously, it's not super important that I have a comfortable experience in an uncomfortable dungeon, right? I think if there was a preference to be had, I prefer taking people to Cape Coast. So, first time in a long time going to Elmina. The tour guide was excellent. The group that I was with was so receptive to everything that was going on. Of course, my mom had been through the experience before. Sarah, who is a white woman, was very much taking her time to go through that whole experience and feel all those feelings. And Tiffany, who is from DC, she definitely was feeling those feelings. So there were two of us that have been before, and two, it was their first time. And I think that hearing the stories, it was really fresh. I recommend everybody goes because it is something powerful to say. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, people whose blood runs through my body were taken from these shores, from this point, never to return, and I am the first one to return. I am the one that returned. And I feel that way every time I'm the one to return. I think Cape Coast Castle does a better job of conveying that because you can actually walk through the door. I think with Elmina, you can't walk through the door, and there is something you feel when you walk through the door. So Cape Coast over Elmina. Just thinking about it gives me chills again, right? And there's nothing I can say, I can't hand you this experience. I think that there's so much misinformation in the world right now. And then it feels like there's a movement to shut down this history. And it was not that long ago. We still feel the effects of colonization, of the forced kidnapping of Africans to go to these different colonies to develop long-term European and American wealth far from home. And so it's hard for me to talk you through it, but I will say the part of this experience that makes it meaningful for me is that against all odds, I've returned. And against all odds, I return and I do business freely. I move back and forth as I want to, and my ancestors never could have pictured that. They didn't know what lie ahead for them when they took that journey initially across the Atlantic Ocean. And I think about the fact that over the past, 20 years of my life, I've been back and forth for pleasure, for work, for my own knowledge, for my own healing. So I will say for sure, make your way. It's a 3-hour or 4-hour journey, depending on what state the roads are in Ghana. But do not make your way to Ghana and not stop by one of the dungeons, because there's something to be said about honoring the past that really just heals you. It fully heals me. So that's another wellness experience that is unforgettable in Ghana. The final wellness experience that we had that was so beautiful was I got to lead my first AfroYin experience on the rooftop at the apartment hotel that we were staying at. It's a beautiful green grassy area. We did some of my favorite yin yoga poses. I led a gratitude chant. It was very, very hot. This is what I will say. The next time we do it, and when we're doing it over holiday, it's going to be an indoor space so that it can be air conditioned. We'll just be looking out over a beautiful pool. We'll have our ginger shots. It'll be a great holistic experience where we don't have to suffer through the heat. I'm so grateful that I got to have my first AfroYin experience on the continent. And I'm excited that I'll be able to bring that to the US this fall. But it made sense for me to do my first experience on the continent in the land of my ancestors so that they could bless my activities and my actions, bless my hands as I push women into deeper stretches. And as I get used to saying, yes, I'm a wellness founder and I love African wellness above all else, because I feel like it's not as capitalistic. I feel like there's space for everybody. And I feel like it's a way that we can put our practices into good use in modern day times. So I can't wait for the AfroYin experience that we're going to have over the holidays. But I think that those are the wellness experiences that I would not miss if possible. I mean, of course, AfroYin, it's like you have to do that with me. But the other 3 experiences, I definitely, if I were you, make your way to Ghana. Laboni, you can knock out 2 of the ones that I like. There are other things there as well. I just wanted to hit on some of these things. You can get waist beads tied. You can do a naming ceremony. For me, I love meditation by the beach. There are so many things that you can do, and I will probably make another video about that. But I just wanted to highlight a few things just in case you were on your way. So if you have some other things that you love to do for wellness practices in the motherland, by all means, please drop them in the comments. I would love to incorporate some of them on my next trip. I'm headed to Nigeria in about 2 weeks, and so I'll also do a wellness scan, we'll say. I'm going to look around and see what I can do there, and I'm going to see how I can kind of become a part of the wellness community in Nigeria too. I love going to African countries and not saying, what can I bring them? What can I do with them? No. I'm there to learn. I'm there to grow, and I'm there to absorb. And lucky for me, they always make African countries always make my cup runneth over. Like, it's always just too much. I just have to like sit back with it all and just really think it through. So there's going to be a part 2 to this video because there are a few little things and I would love to share them with you. So stay tuned for the part 2 of this video. And please, if you have not followed me and if you like wellness, especially indigenous wellness, African wellness, I think that wellness is indigenous to the people of a land. No matter where people are from, we all have our practices. And I think that if we don't share the recipes, we lose the recipes. So follow for more. Leave me a comment, share this with somebody who you think should be a part of this growing community, and I will see you on the next video. I love you. Take care. Bye.